Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Now, in this video here, if you have ever bought a truck before where it already had a flip kit installed and maybe you wanted to take it back to factory height, or maybe you wanted to lift it, so you kind of wanted to see what you needed to do to flip the flip kit back around on the rear axle, well, this is the video for y'all. Stay tuned, keep watching. Okay, so after you get your truck all lifted up how you want it, we're going to start with the shocks in the back of the truck, so nothing major here as far as taking them out. You got 2 bolts up top and 1 bolt at the bottom holding it all together. So just take your shocks out on both sides. That'll be basically where we start off at, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so right here you're going to see me start taking off the U-bolts that hold like the whole axle to the leaf springs. Basically just take those loose. Make sure and support your diff there, as you can see there with my jack, because the axle is going to want to drop down on you now that the shocks are not holding it anymore. And then once you get these out, that's pretty much what's holding it all together. Now you're going to see here as I get the U-bolts out, I'm also take the little flip kit bracket out in the middle right there. Once we get this, these things are super long-winded. I couldn't get my, okay, so this bracket right here, see that's the little flip kit bracket right there. So yeah, once you take that out, that's pretty much it for that, and you go over to the other side and do the same thing again. So here we're basically already had the leaf spring bolts loose, so since there's nothing else keeping it attached to the axle, I went ahead and just dropped it down. Then we go to the other side. Alright, so now that we got everything loose on the passenger side, you're basically going to see me drop this leaf spring down. I'm trying to get the bolts out from the back so that we can drop her down here and get the rest of that stuff out. Now these leaf packs, they're pretty heavy, so definitely got to prepare yourself for that. So now you can kind of see here what I'm fighting. Try to get that out, and then once you kind of lift it up and over, it'll slide right out. There we go. Finally got it out. Took a little bit there to fighten it, but we finally got her flipped around. Now you can see there that is those drop shackles or lift shackles. So this part here is the forward part of the leaf spring, getting the bolt off of it so we can drop it down completely all the way onto the ground. This is the part I was talking about where they're super heavy. Sometimes they might be in a bind on trying to get them out. Definitely be easier to do with somebody else helping you. Now this comment coming up, I actually figured out that I didn't have to do that on this truck, and I'll explain to you later. But on this next part of this video, I thought I would have to slide the axle over to one side like I had to do on my O2, but that wasn't the case. I actually got the bolt out next to the gas tank. Alrighty guys, so basically this is the easiest way I figured out how to reverse a flip kit and get the leaf springs back on the top of the axles here. Basically take the side off that is not against the gas tank, and then kind of support your drive shaft with one, and then this here, and then just slide your axle over to the passenger side to get that other leaf around it. That's about it. Alright, so right here you're going to have your axle supported. You got to drop it all down now because you're going to put the leaves on the other side of it. So you got to get all this stuff back on the ground. So basically that's what you're seeing here, is we're trying to get it flipped back around as low as possible so we can get these leaf springs on the other side of it. Now as you can see here on the left, see how I still have the leaf in over there with the bolt by the gas tank? I wasn't sure that that one would come out, but it actually did. So that saved me from having to try to slide this all the way over to the passenger side to get that leaf spring around it. So if you do like an O2 or something like that, Chevy and up, you have to slide the thing over because you can't get the bolt out next to the gas tank. But in this OBS, it actually came out. Made it a lot easier. So right here you're seeing that I have some lift blocks that I'm putting on here underneath the leaf springs. So we're actually adding those as well as we slowly get the leaf springs back over to the other side. Now here's where I'm actually taking the bolt loose from the forward part of the leaf spring next to the gas tank. So that helped out a lot. So now you can actually drop your axle all the way down and get it to clear to where you can put these all the way on the other side. And if you have somebody to help you, it's so much easier. Gets the ball rolling. So basically that's about it for trying to flip the leaf springs around. You'll have to get you different U-bolts, and you'll also have to find the perch that goes up underneath on the axle. Now the problem I was having here was the truck wasn't high enough to hook all this stuff up and me get back underneath the axle to jack it up. So that's basically what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to do a sequence of flipping the kit and a lift kit all in the same bundle of mess here. So that's what you're trying to see here. I was having trouble lifting it up, or it wasn't up high enough, so I couldn't get it back underneath the axle to lift it up even higher. Other than that, once you find you all the parts you need, you can basically put it back together. We'll have more of this parts of the video after this one, so definitely stay tuned for that. Yeah, so this video here, guys, is just kind of just showing you the whole process of what you have to do to flip it back around, if that's where you're at or if that's where you're going. Now there's some perches that go underneath on the axle. I'll show you in the next video that you gotta have in order to put it all back together after the flip kit, because when you do the flip kit you take those out and you don't use them anymore. So in the next video, stay tuned for that one. I'll show you all exactly what I'm talking about and the rear axle all assembled back together. But thanks for following and watching on this video. It's probably about 12-13 minutes long, so that's why we had to end it here. So anyway, thanks for subscribing, thanks for following along, and we got a lot more OBS videos coming out, so we're doing a whole makeover on it. So keep watching, stay tuned.